the big point is comparing December's foot patrol numbers to June foot patrol numbers. In December, I'm sure all of you in your teenage years and stuff have been off to the beach, New Year's Eve, for that week between Christmas and New Year's. The number of foot patrols goes through the roof. I had a batch in Northland at Mangawhai Heads. You know, there was one local police officer, and then between Christmas and New Year's, there was about 15 there, right? And I've been to Mount Maunganui a few times for New Year's Eve as well in the North Island. The numbers of police officers go through the roof. So comparing foot patrols in December to foot patrols in June is not like for like. And this is the unfortunate thing that Labour's done. They look foolish, right? And this is not to say that the other guys haven't done it. We're just saying when the other guys do this kind of thing in cherry pick, we point it out. They look foolish. And the police spokesperson for Labour, Jenny, is it Jenny Anderson? Sorry, the name just jumps out of my head. Yeah, okay. Looks extra foolish when the reporter tells her what the numbers are, and she basically does a was that woman in America with alternative facts, Kellyanne Conway. She basically does a Kellyanne Conway and says, "I don't accept your numbers." So, but they're the numbers. No. Yeah, I'm sorry, Chewy. I'm trying to bring you down, but you know, we don't step away from when the left needs a kick in the ass. That's what we're here for as well.
You might have noticed lately more cops on the beat, taking to the streets on these high visibility foot patrols.
The public love it. It gives them a sense of security. They're building relationships with shopkeepers and retailers.
But Labour's claiming the numbers are falling under this government. Using police data, they compared nationwide foot patrols in December with those in June and found a 15% drop.
Police numbers are down, and also foot patrols across New Zealand are down.
What happens every December?
What happens every December is we sometimes see a peak.
Actually, as this graph shows, we always see a peak in foot patrols in December.
It's not a good look, Labour. I mean, it's not the biggest sin in the world, but it just looks foolish. Just looks foolish.
Kiwis head out to celebrate the summer. The police hit the beat too.
Do you think you're being honest, though, with the public when you're putting out these figures and you're taking December, where we know that it's that spike, and comparing it to June?
When you track it across that period of time, there is an overall decline in foot patrols.
Okay, but if we compare things, if we take a slightly different period, if we compare June this year with June last year, there's a 5% increase. If we compare May last year with May this year, there's a 26% increase in foot patrols. In April, it's a 16% increase. I mean, the number of foot patrols is going up, not down.
We've seen a consistent decline, and there's a concern that particularly rural areas are seeing a decline.
Yeah, nonsense. They're cherry picking numbers.
In this government's first 7 months, there were nearly 37,000 police foot patrols. Compared to the same period the year before, that's up 10%.
So it's clear the number of foot patrols is going up.
I don't agree with your numbers.
How can you not agree with the numbers? This is off the police data website. This is the numbers.
Just because we see a spike in crime is not a sufficient reason to say that there should be fewer foot patrols. We should be seeing consistent foot patrolling across the board.
But there's way more foot patrols.
I don't agree with you.
There you go, Chewy. I mean, like I said, it's not the biggest thing in the world. You know, it's not an Uffindale report or something like that, or a Darlene Tana, but it's embarrassing. And as people have been saying in the chat, and I think it's the doubling down. I don't accept your numbers, the numbers that are from the official, police website. And I got to ask the question, Labour, who the fuck came up with this plan? Who sat up in whatever floor of whatever government building you're in and said, hey, here's a good idea? I mean, anyone, the most, and even the withered up old journalist who's got no journalistic skills or ability left would probably see this hole, Joey.
Yeah, like if it's easy enough for Mark Mitchell to bat away, it's not good enough. Like there are heaps that you could criticize National on around how they're handling the police. Personally, I would just hammer the point of how many police are we losing to Australia every week?
Yeah.
How many? How many are leaving? How many are taking early retirement?
Yeah.
Just hammer that one single incontrovertible proof that most of them are heading overseas. I mean, even anecdotally, as someone that was very critical of this whole focus on foot patrols and it's all about the front line and that sort of thing, and back office has no value. Here in Dunedin, I've noticed the difference. I work in the CBD. Obviously, there are other factors at play here as well. We had, unfortunately, a teenager stabbed and killed in our bus hub towards the start of the year. So the police have been visible. In the past couple of years, it was very rare to see a couple of cops walking up and down the CBD. Now I see them literally every day. So there is a change there, and I agree with Mark Mitchell, as much as that pains me, that it does give people a sense of safety.
Yeah.
Might not actually be true, and we'll see when we've got some actual stats. But if Labour are going to flub something this basic as comparing like for like, busy period, quiet period, then they're going to keep getting smacked with this. And this is why we criticize it when they fuck it up, is we need this government to be a one-term government, and we need all of our opposition parties to be on their A game.
Yeah.
And Ginny, I like you, but that was not your A game. That was bad.
Yeah. And look, people in the chat, right? Why aren't they doing this to Luxon? Says Ro. That'll be talking about the journalists. It's a bit pig-headed. It sounds like my ex's mother-in-law. Labour is operating on vibes. Takes the focus off the extra 500 police. How are they getting on with that? She just kept digging. Labour using misleading stats. Now, the thing about this, right, is all of the questions about what they should be focusing on, the 500 police, what Luxon's up to, is correct, right? You're correct to say if you think that the media is marking Luxon on a curve for those things, that's correct and that's fair. But what we can't do, me and Chewy, when I say we doing the show, we can't go, well, they're just so unfair to Labour, so who cares if they're unfair to National? Like, right is right and wrong is wrong. Good data is good data. Massage data is massage data. I don't care what the mainstream media does or other media do. We will look at the data and the facts and we'll say, left, you've done very well. Left, you've done very poorly. Right, very rare that happens. Right, you've done very poorly. And if we don't, we just become one of those sort of fake actors pretending to be all neutral and stuff, where we have a bias. We just tell you what our bias is, but you know what? In some part, I want to hold the left more accountable because they're my peeps. I'm like, sort your shit out. Like on the right, keep doing the stuff that's not working. Go for it. But on the left, you don't have the grace or the space to make balls ups because, as Chewy said, if this was going to be a one-term government, you got to get it right first time. And as someone who sits on the left, I will hold you more accountable because you're my peeps. And I want you there. And if he balls it up, then you're not going to be there. I don't care if the right balls it up. They go for it. But if the left balls it up, then that impacts what I think would be a better country and a better led country.